Dinner is served. Clearly I'm going crazy being stuck in the studio with this bad weather we've been having, but I have my gouache to keep me company, so it's okay. So if you saw yesterday's video, you know what this is about. We are going to be testing out the Schmincke Horadam Gouache, which I have never tried. I've used their watercolors for years. I absolutely love them, and a bunch of people have told me that this is their favorite gouache. Let's see how it does. Oh, you're the sweetest little boy. Mr. Floki. I'm totally swooning over these beautiful colors. I cannot wait, so let's just jump in. I need my chair, please. I cannot wait to show you what colors I got. Helio Turquoise Gouache. I am so excited about this because it's one of my favorite watercolors. We also have some titanium gold ochre, which I'm kind of curious like how different this is going to be from my yellow ochre, but it looks really pretty. Then we have English red, one of my favorite watercolors again, and I've never used this in a gouache form, so that will be really nice. Titanium white, of course, because I can always use white, and I wanted to see how this one compares to my other brand. And then we have Delft Blue, which maybe I'm not pronouncing that correctly, but you know, it says Delft Blue. And it's a deep blue, a color I've never even heard of until now. So we're definitely going to be having fun swatching that one. So let's do some swatching and have fun, and then maybe do a little demo, play around a little. Okay, so just like last time, I'm going to do a solid swatch and then a watered down version. Oh my gosh, I think I'm in love. That is such a beautiful color. It's like a mix between a golden orange and a yellow ochre. Oh my goodness, I love that color. Okay, next we're gonna do a little water and then we'll drop in the color. See how it spreads. Oh wow, that does not spread at all. It just kind of sits in place. The Shinhan that I tested yesterday flowed really strongly through the water. Okay, next we have English Venetian Red. Ooh, nice. It's like a slightly redder version of burnt sienna. Now we'll do a slightly watered down version. I mean, it looks just like my English Venetian Red watercolor, so not really surprised. Bit of water. Yeah, it sits in place more than the Shinhan. Now let's try the Helio Turquoise. Such an intense color. Get a little more. And a watered down version. Bam. Pow, right in the kisser. And a little water. And we'll drop that in. I mean, it continues to flow for a little while afterwards, but all right, and the last one is the Delft Blue. And now let's do a watered down version. It's a slightly more indigo version of ultramarine at first glance. Maybe kind of leaning towards like an anthracnone blue, but just a little brighter. And now for the fun part, which is color mixing and testing it out. Let's see what kind of mixes we can create. All right, let's try some turquoise colors because I can't resist. So a bit of the helio turquoise mixed with the yellow. Oh my. Oh, I'm in love. And how about a bit of the deeper blue, the Delft blue? Get a cross between those. And maybe a bit more yellow with that, because the yellow is more opaque, just like the cadmium yellow was, or like any yellow ochre is. How about the Delft blue with the yellow? It'll be like a earthy green, I'm assuming. Or actually, it's more like a grayish blue. Interesting. How about more yellow in there? Didn't really mix that one well. The golden ochre and the Delft blue makes a really like earthy green. Yeah. Kind of a nice neutral, I guess. How about an orange? This is such an earthy red already. So you're not really gonna get any kind of like rose type colors. How about mixing the red with the blue, the Delft blue? Ooh, it's like a brick red. Kind of leans towards purple if I add a bit more of the blue, but it's a very, very neutral one. And once again, I'll show you close-ups after we do all the mixing. So how about the red mixed with the helio? I'm assuming it'll lean more towards gray because helio is more like a greenish blue. Wow, yeah. This is a gorgeous gray color. Like if you want a nice neutral gray, these two, if you find the right combination, this would be beautiful. Let's do like a watered down version of that so you can see the subtlety of that gray. Oh, stunning. I like this palette for like really neutral mixes so far. So let's get some of that yellow mixed with a bit of white. Ooh, mixed with white, this yellow becomes, it's like a golden sunshine color. Let's test out that orange with a bit of white mixed in. I'm guessing it's gonna be quite peachy. Yeah. Nice. Straight away, what I'm noticing is I feel like this palette would be perfect with an additional color. Either if you want to create more vibrant greens, you would want to have a lemon yellow, Or if you wanted to create more intense purples, you would add a rose or a carmine or a permanent alizarin crimson kind of color, something that's that intense red instead of an earthy red. So, you know, if you wanted to really round out this palette, add a lemon yellow and a permanent alizarin crimson or similar, and maybe a black. See this color with some white added in. Ooh, that's like a perfect sky blue color, actually. Intense sky blue, so you may have to neutralize that slightly. How about the Delft blue with a bit of white mixed in? It's a very soft, like a robin's egg blue almost. You can make like a nice, more subtle sky color with that. Let's make some of that turquoise again. I mean, that's a pretty intense green. Let's try lightening it up a bit with the white. It desaturates it, but we're gonna get like a pale jade color probably. Yeah, that's really nice too. I'm saying that's really nice after every single mix, but it is. I mean, there's nothing I don't like. Let's mix a bit of this jade green with some of that red and see if we can get a very, ooh, it's like a putty color. Yeah, and then how about some of the Delft blue mixed into that? Make a little bit more like slate, maybe. How about this like deep gray color with a bit of the white mixed in? So kind of like this one, these colors mixed with white. I think this would be an excellent palette for the Highlands, for the Scottish Highlands, especially in autumn. I mean, if you want to have that pop of red, of course you're going to need another red, but you know, you could color's relative too. So if you wanted to make a pop of red in the landscape, use this, but surround it with more neutral colors and that will stand out like bright red. I don't know what other colors I can mix, but we're just gonna play. Do you guys ever feel like when you're testing new colors, like doing this kind of thing, testing new colors, color mixing and swatching, do you ever feel like, to me, it's like the excitement of being on a date. Let's add a bit of white to that. I really like these greens, actually. Oh man, I'm like in love with this palette. So now that I think about it, combining this with the Shinhan colors I got, even if I don't have the moss green, even just these, this would be such a well-rounded palette. So you would get all of these intense colors of the Shinhan mixes, plus all these more neutral, and then you get the gorgeous turquoises with this helio. Oh my gosh. But let's get back on track and do a little demo, a little test painting. So as you guys know, I like to start with a very loose, watered down version of my colors. This is the Helio Turquoise mixed with a bit of white and a lot of water. That's what I love about gouache. It's so versatile. You can water it down for your underlayers, just like watercolor, and then build up the depth, build up the detail on top. This will be challenging to get any kind of purple. So I can get like a pale lilac pretty easily, but I don't really have the option for the deep purples that I'm used to. But that's okay, we just adjust. And I'm just kind of using my recent trip to the Isle of Skye to inspire me right now. I painted this scene in person when I was there with watercolor, so this is still kind of fresh in my mind. And I thought it would be a good little test. Okay, but straight away, it's so much easier to get really soft, subtle, neutral mixes with this palette than it was with the Shinhan selection. And of course, that's mainly because the Shinhan colors I chose are really vibrant already. So in order to get neutral colors with those, you really have to be careful when you're mixing. But this one is just easy. Like it's almost more neutral straight out of the tube. In terms of like how it's performing, I really like this gouache. It's a really perfect mix of like being able to use it like watercolor and gouache. And the colors I chose are naturally kind of the yellow ochre and the English Venetian red. Those are naturally very opaque pigments. And then of course, as a gouache, definitely. So once I get this first layer down and I start doing the thicker layer, then I'll really be testing it. So I'll throw some chill music on till I get to that point, and then we can talk about it. You know what? There's something really special and actually I think really important about being inspired by the colors that are on your palette. I don't know if that's just me, but like when I paint, I need to really feel that excitement. If I don't, then I really rarely like my results. So I have to say that so far, this palette just really suits my aesthetic. I just love the individual colors so much that it excites me to paint, and I'm already enjoying myself so much more. So it doesn't even have to do with the performance of the paint. Sometimes it's all about that excitement and yeah, just really loving the colors and the process. So just a random thought I had to throw in there. I don't know how much farther I'm gonna take this painting. I'm right now I'm just kind of playing with the layering, like seeing how the paint does when I water it down a lot and then layer and layer and layer and layer. Like, can I easily lift colors underneath? Does it layer up very opaquely? Yes, it absolutely does. If that's what you like in your gouache, if you want it to be very opaque and strong, you don't want it to be translucent, then you will be happy with this one. Because I can do both. I can use it watered down and opaque. Oh man, you guys, I think I found my new favorite gouache. Like, I'm so in love with how this is performing. And now I want to buy so many other colors and compare them. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should buy a bunch of the Schmincke Gouache in the same colors I own in the Winsor Newton and do a direct comparison. Tell me in the comments if you want me to do that. Okay, I think I'll end it here because yeah, this is just a really good little practice painting. Actually, first let's test some of the lighter gray tones, some of the sky reflections on these rocks. So in conclusion, I love this gouache. I love the colors I chose. I love how it's performing. And, you know, I think I'm gonna have fun over the next few weeks playing around with this. I bought a little separate palette that I'm gonna put all this gouache in, and I'm very, very excited to test it out all together. So that'll be a future video. So if you wanna see more gouache videos in the future, make sure you subscribe before you go, and I will talk to you all soon. All right, take care.